All right, guys. Today we're gonna be reacting to some good polls. CNN sounds the alarm on Harris' chances. Let's jump in.
You probably know it, Dana, but I'm going to show you three things real quick, okay? Overnight, USA Today, Suffolk, new poll in Pennsylvania. Harris at 49, Trump at 46. I would take note of this right here. Margin of error, 4.4%. And that means this race in Pennsylvania, according to this polling now, is still a flat-out tie. Here are the battleground states that we see. Carolina, Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. We changed it last week. It hasn't changed as of this week. Pop on out here, show you why Pennsylvania is so important. Then I'm going to give you a quick little 270 map to find out how each campaign most easily succeeds. So Trump in North Carolina wins it by 1.4 percentage points, 74,481 votes. Wins North Carolina, okay? Go back to 2016 against Hillary Clinton. His margin was 177,529 votes, 3.8 percentage points. We talked about this last week. Biden did better in 2020 than Hillary Clinton did in 2016. He drove up his numbers in the urban areas and he reduced the margin in rural areas, and that's why it got closer, but still not good enough for Joe Biden 4 years ago. Now, here we go on the path to 270, okay?
I like how we talk about. I'm sorry, guys. How we talk about politics and not putting into consideration that there was something called, the MOVET. The MOVET was happening. We don't even take that in consideration. See, a lot of people are supposedly voting in mail, which I found it kind of interesting. But somehow we never talk about that. Somehow we just connect all these dots and we try to make sense of, of what happened. Interesting.
As it stands today, Donald Trump's easiest path to victory to go back to the White House is pretty simple. If you're at 219 here, you win North Carolina and hold that state. You flip Georgia and you flip Pennsylvania, and boom, you're at 270. Take these off the board and let's go to Kamala Harris and her campaign. Her easiest path as of now at 225 is to win Wisconsin, win Michigan, hold Pennsylvania, and then take Nebraska 2 out there, and she is at 270. That's as simple as we can do it. Who knows what happens on the 5th of November? Dana, back to you.
I love all of those maps. Thank you. And Tom Bevan, Real Clear Politics founder, Carly Cooperman, CEO of Schoen Cooperman Research, join me now. I want to play for you something from Harry Enton. He's one of the pollsters over at CNN. He says Harris is in the danger zone. Watch here.
Oh, wow.
Harris is right now in that danger zone where basically about half the time, given that popular vote margin nationally, she would win. We could be heading towards one of these splits that we saw in 2016 and in 2000, whereby one candidate, Kamala Harris, wins in the popular vote but loses in the electoral college. Basically, at this hour, we're right in that sort of weird middle zone where we honestly don't know what's going to happen.
Tom, do you know what's going to happen? I'm just kidding. Tell me where you think things are right now.
This race looks an awful lot like 2016 to me. If you look at nationally, Kamala Harris is up 1.7% at our Real Clear Politics average. Remember, Hillary Clinton won that race by 2.1%, but lost in the Electoral College. And if you look at those 7 battleground states, and Michigan's the one that we include in that group, the biggest lead that anybody has there is less than 1.5 points. And if you take an average of the leads of those 7 states, Kamala Harris leads by 0.1%. It is literally that close across the board. I think 4 or 5 of these states, the margin there is less than 0.5 percentage point. So it is really, really close in those battleground states.
Carly, watching some of the roundtable that Mark Halperin did on Two-Way last night, talking to undecided voters, it just does seem, including from the New York Times' polling, that the debate did not scratch their itch. They're not exactly sure. And here's an interview she did at a local station in Philly last Friday night. Watch here.
I grew up a middle-class kid.
I was raised as a middle-class kid.
Oh, man.
The aspirations and the...
This is so cringy, man. This is way too cringy to watch again. She's a scripted. I don't understand how Americans are okay with this. Sometimes I think we're so doomed, man. She's literally a fake actor. You can literally tell. How in the hell are you expecting a person like this to even run this country? You don't even know what she stands up. She's in the height.
On, again, the aspirations and the dreams.
I believe in the ambition, the aspirations, the dreams of the American people.
Creating an opportunity economy where it's about investing in areas that really need a lot of work.
I intend to create an opportunity economy.
So that was from the debate and then the interview. So the question was, whatever the question was, she seemed to have that answer down from her debate prep. But what the undecided voters are saying is that they can't really get a feel for what her authentic policy would be. Does she have a problem there?
Yeah, so Dina, I think a lot of what we're seeing is that in terms of post-debate bumps, one of the reasons we're seeing 1 to 2 points across a lot of the polls is that Harris was able to strengthen her support among her base. We see that there's an increase in voters who say they're more favorable to her rather than less. We did not see the same for Trump coming out of the debate. However, this was largely with Democrats. So that helps in terms of turnout. She needs her base to show up. This could make a difference in some of the key swing states. But reaching undecided voters is still harder. We know that 28% of the electorate said that they wanted to know more about Harris. I think it helped to some extent, but she didn't necessarily go into detail defining specific policies, and that's something that undecideds wanted to hear.
Get a quick answer from both of you on this. Wisconsin is going to be the latest state to deny RFK Jr.'s request to come off of the ballot. So that means that in North Carolina, he will be removed from the ballot. Those ballots will be reprinted. But in Michigan and Wisconsin, it will remain. And quick answer from both of you. Does that matter in those states of Michigan, Wisconsin, and North Carolina? Tom?
Absolutely could. As I mentioned, I mean, Wisconsin could be decided by 5,000 or 10,000 votes. And if RFK's name is on that ballot and he gets, 10, 15,000 votes, he could be the spoiler there for Donald Trump.
And Carly?
Yeah, this can help Kamala Harris for sure. I mean, there are no people at this point that would be voting.
Some of these conversations are so these people, listen, these people get paid millions of dollars for just talk about simple stuff. Very superficial stuff. Very superficial. That's why when they talk about the migrants, the Haitian migrants in Ohio, these people don't get it. And this is Fox News, by the way. They're talking about superficial stuff. Things that you and I talk about. And all of a sudden, these people are making millions of dollars. It's crazy, right, to think about.
Voting for Harris instead of RFK. I mean, RFK's voters would be going to Trump, and so he does not want RFK on that ballot.
Well, we'll see how it all works out. North Carolina removing him. Wisconsin says he is going to stay on the ballot after fighting hard to get on them. All right, thank you both.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
I don't know, when it comes down to stuff like this, polls and stuff like that, the reason that a lot of these pundits, they get it wrong, and this is Fox News, right? Even, it looks like they wanted to make it, it seems like they want to make these races tighter than it looks, right? I cannot believe Americans are this dumb to just really fall to this. You're telling me that all these states, that they having even illegal immigrants problems, they're just voting for Kamala Harris after having all these problems, after putting all their families at risk? Interesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.